What is this all about? Let my people go. God will come to earth, but before he comes to earth, okay, it's a spirit that'll enter into somebody else, and it will say, let my people go. Let my people go. There's boundaries everywhere in this world. We cannot roam free like the animals. We are trapped in like pigs inside pig pens and buildings and chickens of 3/4, and we regulate the temperature for them all day long. Let my people go. We are jailed in freedom. Let my people go. If we don't have enough money, we can't do anything, so we're jailed in a different way. You see, the banker comes out, and God comes to the banker in the Spanish train, and they want to play poker, because poker is a game of bluff. We bluff you out of your money, 1 penny at a time, 1 nickel at a time. Let my people go. You see, we can't do anything on this earth, actually, that we want to do, because we're always watched. If we say the wrong thing according to somebody else, well, they tie us up and put us away. They put us, they check us, they want to know mental, not mental. He's got to have a disease of some sort. They look for it, they make a disease, they create it. They create you into something else. We must let our people go. God comes down to play cards because he needs all that money. He has to give it back to the people. The people need their freedom. That's the only way for God to give them the freedom while they're alive on this planet with the spirit inside of them. They have more worth with the 1 cent spirit of God and the 5 cent passage of beta to equal a total of 6 cents of the mind. Okay, if you add up all your cents, okay, a 1, a 5, a 10, a 25, you get 41, you get the Mediterranean. You're in Israel right now on 41 cents and change. Let my people go. The Mediterranean is going to get mixed up somehow with the Dead Sea. Dead and red, this is a connection to the ending of the entire system of this world. And if you don't let our people go, what will God do? He will flush. Like the rains that came, the money will fall. The money will have less power. But for the poor, the money will have more power. You see, God's going to twist and turn everything until everything that's now following on the outside, right, will now come up, and this is the world we're living in. The rich and the poor and the in-between, and all those on the outside are that on the edge, but no one's in between eating the honey. Let my people go. If you don't redistribute this money, the people eventually in time, the only thing they'll look like is a bunch of groundhogs and beavers going under the water or under the ground. God sticks his head. Okay, what's that animal that sticks his head in the ground? The ostrich? Well, God does that. You see, God's tall, tall, tall. He's at the top of the building. He sticks out his electrical rod and he hits the lightning that energizes his spirit to come down to earth. Let my people go. Let my people go. He will let the people go. Otherwise, God will have to come down and break and smash because he's pissed, mad, he's odd, and that's the way he does things here. It's the only way to wake things up, so he breaks and he smashes, only so we can see the light of God so it comes inside of us, instead of having the money, okay, that shines. It shines for the few cents we have, it shines for us. But the bills don't shine, they burn up. You can burn a dollar bill. You can't burn a quarter that easily and hold it at the same time and throw it in the air. Let my people go. The 10 Commandments has begun. November 11th, 11/11 of this year started the 10 Commandments of God level 110, God level 210, God level 310. 10, 10, 10 over 11, 11, 11 equals 21, 21, 21, 63 of the one Spirit of God, 1963. Of the compassion of God's creation of the 4 angle of the 6th man of 10. Of the 4 angles of God of the 4th day takes you to the date of October 4th, 2014. We will see the wrath of God, and it'll be bright, because in 2016 we get back to one spirit of man. 2014 ends. We get and we build in 2015, and in 2016 we celebrate on Yom Kippur. The new conscience of the mind of God has entered into the man. Only those of free will can take it in, because it's absolutely free. There's no pain. God gives us something. Money is our children. With money, it's our children. Our children work. They make families. Families for God is the biggest money in the world. That's why money is the red devil, because God is the red spirit. He's the white ghost. And when you have no money, well, that's the ghost of all the nature, right? Then you see how does everything work. This is just one piece of the action. It's a poppy. Okay, you see there's 3 separate parts in here. First we start with the pin. But take a look at the pin on the top, the way it's curved. It's curved like that because it goes from your telephone on the 1, down to the 5, and over to the 9. Because in actuality, beta, who's in the center, is coming straight down and breaking over to the 9, creating this curve which looks like the number 7. God has a couple of lines, and with those lines, okay, and different levels, he creates. In each level is 1 board, and on each board is 9 spaces. So if you take a total of 9 boards, okay, and in each space you have 9 spaces, is 81. But you cannot use north and south, okay, at the same time as east and west, because they're not at the same angle. So you use 7 of 9 and 7 of 9. So 7 times 9 is 63 moons on Jupiter, and 7 times 9 is 63. It is 63 less 3 moons. Saturn, 60 moons. Jupiter, 63. Okay? Saturn is 57 plus 3, which is Jupiter's 63 moons minus the moon on Earth, and minus the moon on Mars, you get the 60 moons on Jupiter. It's all a passage in a system of the electronic world of satellite space. Eventually, our satellites, like I heard on one video before, our satellites, okay, somehow are going to be screwing up. We must go with landline, you must go with Bell. You want to keep private, go with Bell landlines, okay? The stork has his head in the ground listening to those landlines, but unless you put your head in the ground, the spirit world, okay, of the electronic bankers, okay, they will hear you through the satellites. So we must go underground, and I'm promoting only Bell for many reasons. Alexander Graham Bell. Alex, X, An, Der, Neanderthal man. The Neanderthal, the communication underneath the ground, where the stork, okay, and the ostrich, of one delivering the baby and the other one putting this head in the sound to connecting his mind with our mind in the earth. The ostrich shoves his head in the ground and he connects his mind with our mind. Why? How? Well, by our feet we walk on the ground and it spreads. God's feet are up in the air. He's upside down. So if you really want to look at really what it looks like, one of the easy scenarios would be that. Okay? And the Hebrews call it the sin and the shin. Sin and the shin. Each on each side. Angel and man are in the center. 3 islands, 3 islands. What happens is he folds the paper, right? When the God folds his paper, this island goes over this island, this and this, they go over each other, and we have a connection in the world. You remember that game we used to play? You used to open it up and this way and this way. Well, while you're opening it this way, close. You see, it's the diamond. It opens and it closes. It opens and it closes. We have all the answers, my friends. It's all out there. In every single gambling game, in every single game of business, okay, wherever you go, whatever you do, the answer's there. All you have to do is look and have one thing that's very important, the recipe on how to put everything together. Because if you take a recipe of any cooking and you don't know how to use it properly, nothing goes together, you won't understand me. This life is now extreme. Okay? On my collar, the white, orange in the center, blue on the top, because it's the blue beta world, the navy blue, because it's God that created the Navy SEAL that connects around their neck and all over the world. So God has the orange power of beta right here. The yellow and the red creates this. It goes out to the white, purity of the angel beta, navy blue. See, the white does not change this navy blue for baby blue, because baby blue stands for Israel, Europe, Quebec. Okay? Now we have to go color by color. We have to connect the colors of the flags, the designs, the shapes, and we can find a whole lot of stories in there. At least I could, or I can make up a whole lot of things. Do I believe myself? Let me tell you one thing. I believe myself more than I've ever believed anything in the whole wide world. The last person I ever believed was my grandfather, and to me, he was a king. I also believe a lot of other people, but in certain instances, I'm not looking for your money. I don't want your money. I'm selling my idea for the freedom of all man. This is free, my friends. Whatever I do, I work on this about 60 to 80 hours a week. Whatever, when I have free time, there is no free time. All my time is in a bubble, and I just keep going from one action to the next. This is free. This is the only way to make money, is if we stick together now, because it's our energies that's going to do everything, and it's not the money. With the money, you still have that mental disability. You still have the action of what's happening around you. You have the possibility of somebody coming up to you and saying, knock, knock, knock on the door. Excuse me, sir, we heard you're disturbing the peace. And you go, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll just be quiet. Sir, you're going to have to come with us. So no matter what you do, even with money, they can still take you away. But the spiritual enlightenment amongst us creates bubbles and balls that when they pull somebody away in one end, somebody at the other end is trying to get him back. But with the money, we're not trying to get any money back, because money ain't got a back. It ain't got no backbone. We fold it up, we put it in our pocket. The only backbone it has is when it's sitting in our hand, the palm of our hand, and for what we do with our mouth when we go ahead and we dish it in, that's the action it takes, and that's who we are. You see, this world is a world, it's a money bank. And the devil, the banker, well, whoever he is, with a big white mustache from Monopoly and a black suit, when all his money is out, well, the people go and fight for themselves. In Monopoly, the banker finishes, he has no more money. He starts you with $1,500. He starts you with three properties, a corner, 3 properties, railroad, and 3 properties, and free parking. Or free parking, he gives you 500, go, gives you 200. 2 and 5 is the beta of the opening 5 Spirit of God. 2 and 5 is 7. You go down to jail, which is a J, or you go to visit jail, which is a VJ. Visit jail, life of Jack. Jack is everywhere. When you hear somebody mention the word Jack, that's a big word, because Jack does everything. So if somebody adds Jack into something, there's something going on. Because Jack is created by the one Spirit. So they're using the Jack, which is the one Spirit inside, to manipulate your mind, because we're all born as Jacks. And just to show you something simple, just from your computer, go to 1/4 of your computer, okay, right, I think it's right, go to this corner here, draw a line all the way 3/4 to the center. Then go down to the other corner, draw it 3/4 to the center. There's going to be a space missing. In that space, draw a line up. Turn your computer sideways and look at it. It's going to be the hat that either the king or the jack wears. They are straight. God is crooked. He created the world to be straight. The J and the K. Okay? And what was I getting to with that? Oh yeah, it was the cat. The cat. But go look at all the queens in your cards. All the queens are wearing it on a slant, their hats. Because God is playing the role inside the queen, and that's why her hat is slanted, because God wears nothing straight. He wears it up so he can see. He wears it in the back of his head, okay, his hat. Because the front of his head is his action. Okay, the queen wears her head back here. Okay, where all the information is. The frontal and the back. God wears his right here, like a dome. It's a dome over his head, just like we have a dome over our world. This is the Buffalo Bill's hat. You see the red spirit shooting through into the blue buffalo? Well, that's basically how God does it. See the 2 feet on the end? You don't see very much more. His tail, okay, his tail, which is right there, right there, the tail. You see his tail? It's all red. So we all have tails. The tail of our story, the tail of our life, the tail of the time we had. And when we go up to heaven, wherever that heaven is, and it's going to end up being here on earth. You know that? Heaven's going to end up being here on earth, because once we clear away hell that's on earth, the only thing left is heaven and peace and love. And the exchange we make will be with the fin on our back. Where the fin, and the expression of a fin, is a $5 bill. And fives and bills and ducks and goats and fish, well, they're all parts of creation, because tails make a design, the bodies of the animals, and all the animals tell you bits and pieces and parts of how God created us and everything else that's around it. I may be able to tell you that, but if you ask me, will I be able to explain it? Well, will I be able to show you it your way? Your way is the most important way, because your way you'll understand. So I have to get off the boat of who I am. Okay, I'm a round figure. I have to take who I am, I have to split it, and I have to go out to you and say it, what I know, to help you so you can understand, because that's the only way we work together. We make bubbles, we are happy, we get more bubbles, but when you put the ivory soap in it, the bubbles go away in the bathtub. So now you got to include the elements, the bubbles in the bathtub, and the reason for ivory soap, the reason for the soap called Dove, the reason for everything we have in supermarket, the reason for what we have in Walmart, WM, William and Mary, waste management, Walmart, waste management. They get whatever they can for as cheap as they can, and they just manage the waste. They sell it, they make a couple of pennies, they're happy, everybody is happy. So they're basically out there as waste management. Can I look at them as bad? I'm not looking for anything bad right now. I'm just looking for additions, bad and good together. They're waste management, which is bad, but the people are going in picking up things cheaper, which is good. So this kind of waste management is good, but at the same time it's manipulative because we buy things that we don't need and then we waste. And we waste our time and we waste other people's time. And then we complain about it. Oh, why'd you buy that? I bought that. Why'd you buy that? You took it. You know? Another thing is, on this, it's pretty simple. For the entire life that you look, it says air, wick. There's an orange on the top for the green light. Okay? And it's 2 for 1. Because the air we get is 2 nostrils for 1. For 1 human being. For 2 beta. Anyways, if you want to know about 2012, it's got to be real.